Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to talk about my thoughts on More Plates More Dates and his content surrounding the cold approach and what I think of it. So More Plates More Dates he's more of a sort of fitness YouTuber, but he has a big sort of backlog of material on cold approaching, because before he was a sort of fitness YouTuber, he was very big into pickup artistry and stuff, and so I've watched a lot of his videos about this kind of stuff, and how to talk to girls, how to get a girl's number, and he presents quite an attractive argument about it, of just kind of how to get cold approaching and stuff. He says it's a lot about just trying enough times until you eventually get somewhere with it, and you'll get rejected a bunch of times, but you never know until you try, and then you get a girl's number, and eventually, and then what I'm getting at is he just talks about it in a very positive way, and I have a lot of time for it, but I think the danger with it is that I think he's a certain type of guy where he's got other things together in his life, so that cold approaching is very different to him than it is to other people, and I know he might argue otherwise, and I'll try and give my response to that. But firstly, I think the thing you have to remember, guys, is being a attractive girl is you just got an unbelievable amount of options that you just can't compare it to a guy, and it's just nuts how many people are willing to put themselves out there and try and win over that girl, and there's only a certain amount of girls that's the case for, so it's very sort of it's a very competitive environment is what I'm getting at. And what this means is that a lot of the time, if you're cold approaching, you won't get the response that you want. Maybe get a girl's number, but it's very rare that you're actually gonna go anywhere with it, because even if you had a good conversation at the time or whatever, because it's just so ruthlessly competitive. And what a lot of people don't realise is that guys only go up in value if they take care of themselves properly. So not only are you competing against, let's say, the girls your age, not only are you competing against everyone else who's your age, who's into that girl as well, which is going to be everyone, but you're also competing against people who are much higher in age. And the other thing is, not a lot's. So it's just so much competition, and it's not really a problem for a girl to date a guy a few years older than them. That's even many years older than them. It's not seen as a problem at all. Obviously, guys do that as well, but it's definitely more of a distinct thing as well. So you're got a lot of competition, and what I'm getting at is you need something more than just the balls to go up to her and talk to her. Now, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it, but you should see cold approaching as part of everything else that you do to make yourself attractive to a girl. So that, there's no real prescription about this, which is part of the problem, because you have to kind of go about it your own way. But the typical stuff is getting in good shape, earning good money, or having a job that's exciting. I mean, some of these stuff is just like, if you just want sort of sexual attraction, you just want a girl to sleep with you. But then like other things, it's like more serious relationships. But for the sake of it, let's just talk about purely sexual attraction. It's stuff like having a lot of money, being in fantastic shape, confidence, dress well, you know, all that other kind of stuff. You need that as well. Now I know what Derek, who's the guy who runs the account, Derek would say to this. He would kind of say, yeah, but because his whole thing is like, well, yeah, but you know, I talk to a lot of girls about this, and they're like, oh, all they really want is just a guy who's, you know, funny, and you know, there's something that girls say all the time, you know, oh, just make me laugh, just make me laugh. And so I think he'd probably push back against that, because he'd say, no, that's not true. But I think, you have to take into account slightly his own experience. So obviously, not all the time has he been a massively successful YouTuber, and not always has he been, so he's quite like a big bodybuilder. Not always has he had that kind of size on him. Like, I do understand that. However, he is clearly at a massive advantage in his just attractiveness, and I'm not saying that devalues all of his cold approaching stuff, but I think what he's not factoring in is the fact that he's a very good looking guy who has hair and is got a lot of muscle on him, and you know, runs a very successful YouTube account, makes a lot of good money. And you know, he says that, but my biggest sort of phases were of when I was cold approaching people was when I was in my bulk period where I didn't look so good. Yeah, but you still have the muscle. You know, you still have the muscle, and also you got the confidence of sort of when you were doing it before that, when you were just in good shape. So anyway, the point I'm trying to make is cold approaching is fantastic, but you have to take it in amongst everything else, because otherwise it's just a danger that you're going to get sort of apathetical and very bitter about it. So see it as a cocktail of, as part of a cocktail of different things you have to do to attract the right partner.